Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Lynette Breedlove, Director of the Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky, and I welcome you to our graduation exercises as we celebrate the growth and accomplishments of this group of exceptional students. Would you please rise and join Ms. Elizabeth Beach in singing of our national anthem. Please be seated. On behalf of the administration of the Gatton Academy and Western Kentucky University, our faculty, staff, and these impressive students gathered before us, I welcome all of the family and friends gathered here on this spring afternoon to pay tribute to our 2015 graduating class. At this time, I want to give special recognition to our brass quintet for their beautiful music that they're providing for us this afternoon. Members include Natalie Adcock, Charles Crone, Marshall Scott, Christy Shores, and Joe Stites. Before we continue, would you please silence your cell phones to preserve the decorum of our ceremony today? Today is a day of celebration and reflection. What an amazing ride it has been. Looking back over the past years brings a rush of emotions. These students have taken the most rigorous curriculum offered to any high school student in the nation. They left the comfort of home and established a level of independence that will impact their lives forever. They have forged new friendships, which will grow exponentially in the years to come. All of these experiences have laid a foundation from which these exceptional young people can build lives of purpose, of meaning, and of service. Of the many things these students have pursued, one particular area of significance is the research opportunities for these students. Many of the faculty with us today have mentored these students as they explored such areas as new techniques in chemistry, unknown frontiers in astronomy and physics, potential breakthroughs in biology, life-enhancing concepts in engineering, and unique applications in mathematics and computer science. These powerful learning environments have brought relevance to these areas of advanced learning for our students. As we embrace this day of celebration, we can all take pride in the accomplishments of our outstanding students. We would like to recognize different groups who've been instrumental in the lives of these remarkable graduates. I ask that you hold your applause until all members of a specific group have been recognized. We begin by welcoming local legislators. It's been through the support of these and numerous other members of the Kentucky General Assembly that this opportunity was made available to students. Their investment is already making a difference in preparing students for advanced careers in the Commonwealth. I'd like to recognize Speaker Pro Tem Jody Richards of Bowling Green. Next, we welcome special members of the Western Kentucky University administration who have been vital to the success of the Gatton Academy, If you're an administrator at WKU, please rise. It is fitting that recognition be given to the individuals who provided outstanding instruction and guidance for these graduates, both in the classroom and as mentors in research. With the exceptional support of these incredible teachers, research mentors, and brilliant minds, the Gatton Academy thrives. At this time, I would ask all faculty members to stand so that we may recognize you and express our appreciation for what you have accomplished with these students. Thank you so much for the time, dedication, and effort that you've put into sharing with our students. Members of the Gatton Academy administration are the next to be recognized. These men and women give unselfishly of their time and talent to love, support, and guide our remarkable students. Members with us this afternoon are Dr. Pokey Bowen, Assistant Director, Counseling Services, Ms. Julie Freya, Office Coordinator, Ms. April Gaskey, Coordinator of Academic Services, Ms. Tracy Harkins, Coordinator for College Counseling, Ms. Beth Hawk, Assistant Director, Student Life, Ms. Nita Rice, Office Associate, Mr. Zach Ryle, Assistant Director, Academic Service, Admissions and Public Relations. I do know what you do, Zach. Mr. Derek Strode, Assistant Director, Academic Services. I would also like to extend a special word of gratitude to our residential life staff. These are the individuals who have created a second home for our students. Their dedication and enthusiasm has produced a warm, safe, productive environment within which our students develop important life skills. Ms. Olivia Gatton, Mr. Anthony Gross, Ms. Denitra Hodge, Ms. Laura Huff, Mr. Ben Popham, Mr. Robert Pugh, and Mr. Brima Vanjo Jr. Next, we recognize our alumni who have taken their Gatton Academy experience to new levels. With so many demands on their time, we're happy that some have joined us for our festivities today. Would you, alumni who've gathered with us today, please rise. To date, the Gatton Academy has partnered with approximately 200 public high schools from across the Commonwealth. We exist as an extension of every district, school, and classroom across the state. We are fortunate to have superintendents, administrators, counselors, and teachers from across Kentucky who partner with us to meet the needs of highly able students. These advocates play an important role. Working from the foundation laid in early years, these educators continue to ensure student successes. If you're a teacher, counselor, or administrator from a sending institution, would you please rise? Thank you so much for sharing your students with us. Finally, I want to recognize a number of people who've played an important role in support of today's graduates. They are the ones who helped these students seize an opportunity that required substantial thought and sacrifice. They stepped out on faith in the knowledge that this opportunity would be the right place for their students to learn and grow. 2 years ago, they were the ones who carried boxes and tiny refrigerators into Florence Schneider Hall, leaving behind their 15 and 16-year-olds, trusting their children and trusting the Gatton Academy. Throughout the 2 years, they have supported and encouraged their students. They have been advocates for the Gatton Academy from day one, and we owe much of the success that is ahead to their support and their aid. Isn't it impressive how much these graduates have grown in 2 years? I would like for all parents and guardians of today's graduates to please stand and remain standing. Would all grandparents of today's graduates join the parents in standing? And finally, would all other relatives and friends of today's graduates please stand? Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, Dr. Julia Roberts, Executive Director of the Gatton Academy and the Center for Gifted Studies, will come forward for remarks. Dr. Roberts defines advocacy. Her diligence and perseverance are why we're here today. Please welcome to the podium, Dr. Roberts.
Welcome to the 8th graduation for students of the Carol Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky. Representative Richards, members of the staff of the Gatton Academy, faculty of Western Kentucky University, family and friends of Gatton Academy graduates, and most of all, those of you who are graduating today. What an honor and joy to celebrate with all of you. Advocating for excellence in Kentucky schools is so important. I encourage each of you to speak out on behalf of excellence in education. Excellence involves learning beyond proficiency. Remember, proficiency is grade level learning, and we have lots of children and young people who are ready for more than that. Remember that proficiency is no goal at all for folks like those sitting up in the front and many other children across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. One of the Gatton Academy's original goals has been to be a beacon of excellence in Kentucky. Being a beacon for excellence will require advocacy for gifted education at the school district, state, and national level, and we need for all of you to be advocates for excellence for gifted children. In 1998, the idea for a Kentucky residential school with a focus on math and science was but an idea. A statewide residential school that is supported by the state budget was not a new idea. In fact, North Carolina's school began in 1980. A decade of advocacy and planning preceded the first students arriving at the Gatton Academy in 2007. The story continues with you who are sitting here on the front rows. Gatton Academy graduates, you have created an exceptional record during your 2 years as you have completed high school and launched your college career. You've done those things simultaneously. You've engaged in research, presented at conferences, and shared your research at the Undergraduate Research Conference here at WKU, as well as at conferences across the country. You've traveled the world with many of you studying and enjoying time at Harlangston. I get to do that this summer, and I'm looking forward to it. Exploring the rainforests of Costa Rica and traveling to other places in the world. It is truly a joy to recognize you as graduates of the Gatton Academy. Everyone here has played a significant role in the success of the Gatton Academy. Parents and family members, you have made the Gatton Academy a reality as you have trusted the Academy's vision and mission as well as the staff, to be everything they said they would be. Faculty at WKU, your dedication to excellence in teaching and research has provided the academic preparation for Academy students to soar. Gatton Academy staff, you have been the steady support for the Academy students day by day. Representative Richards, without your interest and ongoing support, the Gatton Academy would not exist. And do you all know that? We wouldn't have it without Representative Richards. With your support, the Gatton Academy, with all of your support, the Gatton Academy has become the beacon of excellence that we hoped and planned for when the concept was but an idea back in the late 1990s. Graduates, although you are being recognized as high school graduates today, you are atypical high school graduates. Congratulations to each of you.
In this, our 8th year, the students of the Gatton Academy have built upon the initial foundation and have excelled in their endeavors in and out of the classroom. This afternoon, we will honor 61 graduating seniors as part of the Gatton Academy's class of 2015. They have continued to establish the path that countless classes will follow. They will leave this campus today as ambassadors for the Gatton Academy, while growing as innovators for this great Commonwealth. The following students have been selected by the senior class to share reflections from their experiences this year and to look ahead toward the coming years. Our first speaker, Mr. Andrew Brown, is a graduating senior from Central City and Muhlenberg County. He has a great combination of humor, intellect, and curiosity. His passion and zest give him a robust presence that is commanding. Please welcome him to the podium.
I'm gonna take my sweet time, okay? In the brief span of Adventure Week that stretches from frantic move-in to first 8 a.m.s, from seminar-saturated days punctuated with paperwork to the beginnings of routine and rut, our academy began. It was just a few of us exhausted and wary of the coming semester. And I think I'll always remember that the first of many lazy afternoons on the 3rd floor. I was unsure what was expected of me, what I was supposed to do, what the schedule demanded, what the script asked of its actors. And Tim Gott, with his easy humor and indulgent smile, recognized the symptoms immediately. He said, "This is the weird part. This is where it gets uncomfortable and independence sets in. You can do what you want." Now, before I spiral into nostalgia, at 18, I really ought to be too young to be nostalgic. Let's step back. Congratulations to the Gatton Academy class of 2015. I thought I'd follow the graduation speech script for a moment, but already the rhetoric feels dishonest, like it doesn't quite fit. We are not here today because we followed the script, and I won't presume to speak for everyone's experiences, but I invite you to explore an alternate universe's 2 years. The plan, the expectation for each of us went something like 4 years of being a round peg in a square hole, 4 years of tedium, 4 years in a group of people gathered together when the most significant trait they share is that they're roughly the same age. A granfalloon is a delightful word for a sad idea. In Cat's Cradle, Kurt Vonnegut defined a granfalloon as a proud and meaningless association of people. It is a group whose membership is contrived or incidental, ranging from a nation down to, I'll venture, the great majority of high school graduating classes. However, I might grant our academy the title of a humble and meaningful association of people, if for no other reason than that we consciously and ambitiously chose to be here. We are privileged to be in a group united by the choice that we made to toss the script. We're united by the common ability to convincingly pretend to love STEM in 500 words or less. We are united by a common set of trials by fire, including but not limited to 8 a.m. physics with Dr. Andrew, where we learned what a great problem truly is. CPS, where we learned the difference between a good friend and a good partner. Yeah, I know, shots fired, Brian. Or English 200 at Harlexton, where we discovered the wonders of Primark onesies, and no merely good kebab, but indeed the one and only best kebab. Now, what Tim gave us that day, what he gave me that day, which is now wistful and golden in my memory, was license to write our own story. Because we chose to discard the script, we became authors, collaborators, conspirators of a brief chapter, 2 years in duration, every word significant. And I think I know why that innocuous congratulatory phrase doesn't feel right. I know that on the piece of paper for which we brave the stage today, Gatton Academy class of 2015 will appear embossed and self-important. The title will follow us in angular black Times New Roman on resumes as long as we must craft applications and box ourselves into bullet points, but that is not the language we use to quilt 2 years of extraordinary. Here to food is a verb. Gare Bear is a person, and a Gat Pack is something that you do not want to be. Every staff member goes by his or her first name as if to remind us that they are people first, professionals second. More to the point, when we look to past classes fondly and future classes jadedly, because of course, it's never too early to be cynical, we do not refer to the class of 20XX. They are our great-grand seniors or our grand juniors, part of a chain, a lineage that connects us because we hold our association in more esteem than that of a class, a grand falloon. And when I say academy, know that I do not refer to the abstract academy, capital A. I refer to our humble association, academy with lowercase a, one that we built and shared and wrote into our lives. And I think that I can now congratulate all of you properly. Congratulations to our academy. I'm not sure what we did, or if I want to know all of the details, but the fact remains that we did it. And as we write the next steps of our lives, steps that will take us to China or Senegal, Silicon Valley or Wall Street, homes that we already know and homes that we've yet to build, individual paths that tangle and cross and return to their origin or never cross again, there's far more of the unknown than the known that we face. In fact, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this and cherish it. The knowledge that you are not alone. We are not alone because wherever we may go, we remain united by these choices, that we sidestep the flow, discarded the script, and danced to imperfect, discordant jazz of our own devising. More than the college credits, or the freedom from our old high schools, or the scholarships, or the #1 ranking, or something else that fits conveniently on this list and sounds good as a soundbite. The greatest gift that Gatton ever gave was the confidence of belonging. So maybe after all is said and done, it's not congratulations that I want to say, it's simpler than that. All that remains to be said and needs to be said is thank you.
And at this time, let me invite Ms. Julia Ginzheimer, a graduating senior from Bowling Green in Warren County, to share remarks. Julia embodies poise, sincerity, and quiet intellect. Her heart is ever present as she regularly lifts up those around her. Please welcome Julia to the podium.
Thank you. When I first began conceptualizing what I would like to say to you today, it occurred to me that my first words very well might be, I'd like to thank the Academy. And I thought, I sound a like Jennifer Lawrence, which is fine, because J-Law is amazing. But then I realized that a great actor being honored for a spectacular performance is a really apt comparison to what is happening today. We are all being honored for our spectacular performance in the production of Gatton Academy 2015. And luckily, in this speech, I won't be cut off by music. Tradition dictates that I begin by reflecting on our recent production. My 2 years at Gatton have been some of the best in my life. 2 years ago, as a sophomore, I pictured my high school career filled with pep rallies, football games, summer at the pool, and AP classes. While it would have been a fine 4 years, the experiences here at the Academy are unparalleled. We've learned a lot at the Academy, which I say would be a good thing, considering we are a school. 2 years ago, I didn't know anything about research, coding, graphene, dung beetles, or maximizing meal plans. CS, CPS, 4F, BF, IC Red, and NCSSS MST were just strings of letters. 2 years ago on move-in day, I didn't know that we were allowed to leave the dorm. Turns out, you don't have to ask Tim for permission to eat lunch. More importantly, I would not have met some of the best people I know. Next, it's common to thank the directors, producers, and production staff, or in our case, WKU administration and faculty, the Center for Gifted Studies, Kentucky legislators, and the Gatton Academy staff. Thanks to Lynette for being a great director and for free snow cones and cupcakes. Thanks to Derek for always helping us study abroad and do super cool research. Thanks to Beth, our mom away from mom, for whose life analogies and puns always brighten up our day. Thanks to Pokey for words of encouragement. Thanks to April for scheduling classes and bringing Charlie to dance at prom. Thanks to Tracy for last-minute college help. Thanks to Zach for making us look good. And thanks for Julie and Nita for handling paperwork with a smile. Finally, thanks to the RCs for weekend activities and putting up with us. Next, actors normally thank their supporters. Thank you to all the parents and family members who have supported us along the way with encouragement and home-cooked meals on closed weekends. Thanks to our seniors for teaching us how to survive the Academy, and to our juniors for challenging us to be better role models. And last but not least, shout out to Printer 3. And what kind of speech would it be without thanking my fellow performers, the class of 2015? It has been an honor to be a part of a community that is so passionate, dedicated, hardworking, and humble. You all are the smartest, most hilarious, and overall best group of people I could imagine sharing my first years of college and my last years of high school with. We experienced awkward forced socialization during Adventure Week, spent hours debugging code in CS and CPS, finding great test questions using a right-handed coordinate system, and survived the college application process to be promptly rewarded with acceptances, sparkling grape juice, and Zaxby's. Thanks, Mom. Whether on wing or in a common area, there was always someone to help explain a calculus problem, discuss the latest episode of Red Band Society, or go eat dinner with. You guys aren't simply my friends. You all are my teachers, mentors, role models, motivational speakers, and even parents. That last one's a long story. I will cherish the movie marathons, ultimate games, kindergarten days, dances, high fives from Brima, late night games of Cards Against Humanity at retreat, trips to Mellow and Cracker Barrel, seminars, Snow Week, competitive games of Trivia Crack, the White Squirrel Dilemma, meeting Michio Kaku and Bill Nye, and Customer Appreciation Week. They finally got the orange chicken memo. I will miss the hours spent in Beth's office, the late night conversations on wing, Skipper Bob, saw him here, the Facebook group, Gatton memes, and free food. Near the end of the awards, it's customary for actors to explain what they have learned from their experience. Many graduation speakers encourage graduates to be the next generation of scientists, lawyers, engineers, teachers, artists, and doctors. And only a few actually follow through. Looking at you all, I believe that we will actually be the future leaders because of our experiences at Gatton. Our class has already accomplished so much. Whether it is passing a class, winning a national award, pursuing passions, or finding that comma that should have been a semicolon. We have contributed to something extraordinary. Sure, we are the #1 public high school in the United States, but not because we try to be. It isn't standardized test scores or GPAs that make Gatton what it is. It is our community. So now, as graduates, let's continue this legacy of success, passion, and happiness, and strive to be the #1 alumni. So now, at the 2015 Gatton Academy Awards, I would like to congratulate the class of 2015. We did it.
Selecting Representative Jody Richards to be the speaker for the Gatton Academy graduation reflects the importance of today. In the late 1990s, Speaker of the House Jody Richards heard at the Southern Regional Educational Board legislative conferences about other states having residential high schools with a focus on mathematics and science. He wondered if Kentucky could have such a residential school. In 1998, Dr. Julia Roberts and Dr. Charles Magruder wrote a small proposal for such a residential school. In the fall of 1997, President Gary Ransdell had become the 9th president of Western Kentucky University. The ideas of Speaker Richards, Dr. Roberts, and President Ransdell coalesced to build momentum for the concept for what was then to be called the Kentucky Academy of Mathematics and Science. With that background in mind, we are pleased to welcome Representative Jody Richards to the platform. It is my honor to welcome Speaker Pro Tem of the Kentucky House of Representatives, Jody Richards, a leading advocate for gifted education and a champion for the Gatton Academy.
Well, thank you very much for that gracious introduction, and I'm delighted to be here on this very special occasion. As I look out at the graduates, and family, and friends, and the staff who've made this literally the best high school in America, I can not help but think back just how far Kentucky has come. Kentucky education has come in the last several decades. Not long after I was elected to the Kentucky House of Representatives in the mid-70s, there were those back then, I became the chair of the House Education Committee. So when I say that our schools were not the envy of the nation back then, I speak from experience. It was common to hear the phrase, "Thank God for Mississippi," because they were the only state below us in education rankings. A quarter of a century ago, however, all that began to change with the passage of the Kentucky Education Reform Act. It is arguably the most important legislation in the history of our state, and I shall forever be proud of a role in helping to write it. Without this 900-page law, with the restructuring of the entire education system in Kentucky and the substantial new funding it called for, I'm convinced that we would not be here today in this ceremony. That's because the Education Reform Act changed more than just how Kentucky educates our children. It changed the Commonwealth's mindset. It convinced Kentuckians that there's no reason why we can't be the best. By the end of the 1990s, it was clear that we were well on our way with a myriad of national rankings since then that have repeatedly proven that fact. No more do we hear people say, "Thank God for Mississippi." Indeed, I know of no state that has not borrowed some aspect of the Kentucky education reform. Just this week, a report ranked Kentucky as a national leader in the percentage of students who graduate from high school. If education reform is a key reason why the Gatton Academy was ultimately possible, people like Dr. Julia Roberts and Dr. Gary Ransdell paved the way for it being here at WKU in Bowling Green. In the late 1970s, Dr. Roberts helped to make our community the epicenter for gifted education programs across Kentucky. And that enviable legacy has only grown over the past 35 years. Her dedication and leadership are a big reason why countless gifted students have the tools and resources they need to succeed. The final seeds for Gatton Academy's success can be found on this WKU campus. For more than a century now, Western Kentucky University has been a leader in the field of education, and it has positively thrived under the guidance of President Ransdell and through the generosity of philanthropists like Mr. Bill Gatton. As Kentucky House Speaker, when the Gatton Academy went from being a dream to reality, it was my honor to shepherd Gatton's passage and funding through the Kentucky General Assembly. I mention this history to give you a better understanding of just how far we've come as a state. Those of you who are graduating today and those who came immediately before you and those who come after you are fruits of that labor. You may not realize it, graduates, but your success as students is our success as a state. If you had told us in the 1970s that there would be days like this and days like this would occur, I'm not sure we would have believed you. It would just simply have been too good to be true. As I was thinking about today and this ceremony, I realized that a set of traditional graduation remarks might not seem quite right in this situation. None of you needs encouragement to reach your full potential because every one of you has spent your entire life exceeding expectations. You're already motivated. I know there will be challenges along the way, but I have every confidence that you will find ways to overcome them and be extremely successful. With that in mind, I want to spend the remaining time relating a story that I think is appropriate today. My story takes place half a world away in Israel. As you may know, many of the young adults there are required to spend 2 or 3 years in service to their country. One of the challenges with this is discovering who the most appropriate leaders are, the ones that should be leading the rest. Years ago, the Israelis implemented a number of tests to help them in this determination. One of those called for 8 recruits, each a stranger to the other, to perform a difficult task. They had to clear a 6-foot wall using only a long log. No one nor the log could touch the fence. If that happened, they had to begin again. As these would-be soldiers started working together, reviewers from the Army Psychology Unit watched to see who would take the lead, who might have just the right temperament, not too much temper, just the right temperament. They would see who might work well together and who might not work well together, and who was just content to take orders. They would compile their notes on this exercise and others like it, and then send their recommendations to officer training school. They were confident that they knew who would succeed and who wouldn't, except they were nearly always wrong. When they met with the leaders of the officer training school, they learned that their recommendations were a little better than a blind guess. Some whom they thought would be natural leaders turned out to be anything but that. And some who were considered too quiet or ineffective in those early tests turned out to be excellent officers. What these reviewers discovered was what you see is not what you always get. It can be so easy to rely on first impressions and stereotypes, but you must look beyond that to see potential where there doesn't appear to be any. Let me give you some examples. Consider the 27 publishers who turned down Dr. Seuss's first book. Why could they not see the success that he would become? What about the newspaper editor who fired Walt Disney because he said he didn't have any imagination? Think about the founder of FedEx, who was told in college that his idea of overnight delivery could never work. And think about some of the greatest NFL quarterbacks. Joe Montana, he was the 82nd choice pick draft. Joe Theismann was 99. And yeah, Tom Brady, who's in the news now, was 199th. All these people who were overlooked by so-called experts who thought they knew better. And in each case, the experts were wrong. In your career, you will meet people who you're confident might be the right ones to help you get ahead, and you might meet others that you're not sure are worth your time. And maybe you'll be right in many cases, but don't let first impressions be the only impression. And just as importantly, don't let others dismiss your full potential. I must admit that I don't see how anyone could underestimate you at this point. I learned this lesson firsthand recently when I helped to interview candidates for next year's junior class here at Gatton. It was an experience I shall never forget. It gave me a deeper understanding of the high standard that must be met to become a Gatton student. And it showed me just how many young people are committed to joining this prestigious school. Each one of those young people is very bright, very intelligent, very poised, confident but not cocky, motivated, determined, and engaging. I'm grateful that the General Assembly saw the wisdom last year of expanding Gatton's reach across the state to 100 students from what it is now presently at 60. Gatton Academy's next phase promises to be a dynamic one, and I'm looking forward to seeing what more can be accomplished here. For parents and other visitors who came to this ceremony today, you may have noticed the brand new brown directional signs on I-65 that just have been erected. They were authorized by the Kentucky General Assembly in this last 2015 session. They read, home of the Gatton Academy, #1 high school in America, 2012, 2013, 2014. The #1 high school in America. You represent Kentucky's best and brightest. It makes me even more confident that our Commonwealth is in good hands and that our state's best days are yet to come. You are the ones who will help solve many of the most complex problems and unravel lingering mysteries facing our society. You will help discover the breakthrough cures, invent tomorrow's technology, and amaze us with the research you conduct, the books you write, the art you create, and the leadership you provide. So as you complete one chapter of your life and are ready for the next, I wish you great success, and I'm confident of your success. But always remember that not only your family and friends are behind you, you have an army of supporters here in your home state of Kentucky who are rooting for you and supporting you. What a challenging and exciting opportunities you have facing you in the next few years. Congratulations, good luck, and God bless.
I now ask Mr. Zach Ryle to come to the podium. He will give instructions about the individual recognition of graduates.
I now request that the marshals bring the graduates forward. This is a special time of the ceremony in which we will recognize each student individually for their accomplishments. We are thankful to have with us today a professional photographer who will be taking photos of each graduate as they receive their diploma. We request that you refrain from coming to the stage to take pictures. In addition, you are asked to please refrain from blocking the views of others by standing to take pictures. Catherine Grace Allen, daughter of Casey and Terry Allen, a graduate from Ballard County. Melissa Jean Anderson, daughter of Leslie and Cynthia Anderson, a graduate with honors from Woodford County. Meredith Cecile Bickett, daughter of Gary and Karen Bickett, a graduate with distinction from Davis County. Dana Jo Beakley Spezial, daughter of Jennifer Beakley and Sherry Spezial, a graduate with distinction from Carter County. Morgan Lewis Blair, son of Angela Fultz and the late Timothy Blair, a graduate with honors from Rowan County. Michael Seth Blankenship, son of Sabrina and Dan Coleman and Michael Blankenship, a graduate with distinction from Pike County. India Faye Blosser, daughter of Dr. Michael and Phyllis Blosser, a graduate with honors from Henderson County. Abigail Taylor Boone, daughter of Austin Boone and Shelley Taylor, a graduate from Shelby County. Samuel Lamar Booth, son of Thomas and Robin Booth, a graduate with distinction from Davis County. Anna Catherine Braun, daughter of David and Pamela Braun, a graduate with distinction from Boone County. Shelby Linnell Broking, daughter of Lance and Sherry Broking, a graduate with honors from Clark County. Andrew Owen Brown, son of Kevin and Paula Brown, a graduate with distinction from Muhlenberg County. Justin Mark Bunch, son of Mark and Galinda Bunch, a graduate with honors from Hardin County. Erin Elizabeth Burba, daughter of Dr. Patrick Burba and Kate Sin, a graduate with distinction from McCracken County. Lydia Marie Buzzard, daughter of Dale and Foon Buzzard, a graduate with distinction from Christian County. Ian Caneto Musovic, son of Marcelo and Vida Caneto, a graduate with distinction from Eulenburg County. Brian Taylor Carlson, son of Jason and Patricia Griffiths, a graduate from Lincoln County. Rachel Christine Cook, daughter of Paul and Gail Cook, a graduate with distinction from Washington County. Michael James Evans, son of Dr. James and Ellen Evans, a graduate from Lee County. Julia Lane Ginzheimer, daughter of Jerry and Deborah Ginzheimer, a graduate with distinction from Warren County. Courtney Blake George, daughter of Sean George and Nicole Merrick George, a graduate with honors from Mason County. Benjamin Michael Guthrie, son of Christopher and Nicole Guthrie, a graduate with distinction from Warren County. Sarah Elizabeth Herricks, daughter of Dennis and Jennifer Herricks, a graduate with honors from McCracken County. Logan Robert Houchins, son of Robert and Natalie Houchins, a graduate with honors from Oldham County. Cameron Christian Hubbard, son of Cameron and Sandra Hubbard, a graduate from Jefferson County. Paul Willis Hudson, son of Rocky and Mary Beth Hudson, a graduate from Marshall County. Bradford Thomas Hall, son of Bradford and Jennifer Hall, a graduate from Oldham County. Taha Mujtaba Hussein, son of Toeed and Razia Hussein, a graduate from Fayette County. Peter Allen Kaminsky, son of Chris and Jennifer Kaminsky, a graduate with distinction from Davis County. Elizaveta Mihailovna Kenner, daughter of Dr. Mikhail Kenner and Yekaterina Miakshina, a graduate with distinction from Warren County. Allison Renee King, daughter of Ronald and Stacy King, a graduate with distinction from Boone County. Paige Dawson Kington, daughter of Barry and Lana Kington, a graduate from Hopkins County. Kane Joseph Charles Kotacek, son of Kelly Cardwell, a graduate from Simpson County. Dimitri Daniel Legis, son of Mark Legis and Suzanne Vanderwater, a graduate with distinction from Fayette County. Kelly Christine Lynch, daughter of Jason and Michelle Lynch, a graduate with distinction from Barron County. Anna Jean Farmer Mayo, daughter of Alan and Judy Mayo, a graduate from Henderson County. Kelly Elizabeth McKenna, daughter of Daniel and Mary McKenna, a graduate with distinction from Oldham County. James Tyler Meeks, son of James and Janet Meeks, a graduate with distinction from Breckenridge County. John David Myers III, son of John Myers and Diana Robertson, a graduate from Fayette County. Melissa Brooke Murphy, daughter of Philip and Melinda Murphy, a graduate with honors from Davis County. Jacqueline Orozco Cruz, daughter of Luis Orozco Cruz, a graduate from Allen County. Nakia Leanne Owens, daughter of Kevin and Beth Owens, a graduate from Laurel County. Veer Deepak Patel, son of Dr. Deepak and Nima Patel, a graduate with distinction from Christian County. Molly Danielle Pope, daughter of Michael and Victoria Pope, a graduate from Knox County. Catherine Rachel Price, daughter of Austin Price and Judy Pennington Price, a graduate with honors from Jackson County. Valerie Gisela Richmond, daughter of Thomas Richmond, a graduate with distinction from Warren County. Benjamin Kean Riley, son of Michael and Sarah Riley, a graduate with distinction from Jefferson County. Rena Kim Ryumaye, daughter of Masaru and Kyong Ryumaye, a graduate with distinction from Boone County. Sarah Linda Elizabeth Schell, daughter of Chris Schell and Dana Bradley, a graduate with honors from Warren County. Ananya Sharma, daughter of Dr. Nilesh and Viba Sharma, a graduate with distinction from Warren County. Christian Clayton Sims, son of Dr. Dennis and Jeannie Sims, a graduate with distinction from Nelson County. Erica Nicole Stairs, daughter of Michael Stairs and Lori Atterbury, a graduate from Hickman County. Josh David Stewart, son of John and Pamela Stewart, a graduate with distinction from Hopkins County. Joshua Blake Alexander Sutton, son of Thomas and Williams and Amy Sutton, a graduate from Simpson County. William Allen Walters, son of John and Billy Walters, a graduate with distinction from Fayette County. Lindsay Ann Walton, daughter of Ed and Ruth Walton, a graduate with honors from Oldham County. Jack Scott Wassam, son of Gregory and Melissa Wassam, a graduate with distinction of Warren County. Jenna Lee Willett, daughter of Bobby and Sabrina Willett, a graduate from Carlisle County. Noah Ray Williamson, son of Jason and Michelle Williamson, a graduate from Spencer County. Sarah Yount, daughter of James and Martha Yount, a graduate from Breathitt County. Phoebe Zimmerer, daughter of Dr. Edmund and Mary Beth Zimmerer, a graduate from Callaway County. At this time, friends and guests, it is my great pleasure to present to you the members of the Carroll Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky's class of 2015. Dr. Breedlove, these candidates have completed the requirements for a high school diploma prescribed by the Gatton Academy in conformity to the standards of the Kentucky Department of Education. On behalf of Western Kentucky University, the Gatton Academy, and each student's sending institution, I extend these students congratulations and their earnest pride we feel towards each of them for having accomplished this milestone.
Will the platform party and faculty please rise? It is with pleasure that I recommend to you that the appropriate status be conferred upon these candidates, who, by the application of their abilities to their assigned studies, have completed the prescribed program of study and have demonstrated their qualifications for this high recognition. Will the members of the class of 2015 please rise? As the 8th graduating class of the Carol Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky, you are the true avatars of the Academy's spirit. You have received from this institution, so it is your responsibility to give back to the generations of students yet to come through your generosity. Your support will be valuable to the success of this program and to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. At this time, to signify your accomplishments and your change in status from student to graduate, please move your tassels from the right side of your mortarboard to the left, placing them over your heart. Please be seated. I want to offer a special thanks to the staff and volunteers who have contributed to the planning of this ceremony. I invite all of you to congratulate our graduates at a reception at the Faculty House after we conclude. Please join us there as we continue to celebrate each of today's graduates, their work leading up to today, and the infinite possibilities they have ahead. At this time, please welcome to the podium once more Ms. Elizabeth Beach for the singing of our state song, My Old Kentucky Home. At the conclusion of the song, please remain standing. Would you please rise? We have reached the conclusion of our ceremony. Please join me in congratulating the Gatton Academy class of 2015.